Hey everybody, Sandy here. Today we're going to be working on a Christmas or memorial tumbler, however you want to look at it. I have already covered this with my epoxy. We're going to do a glitter to begin with. And I'm sorry if you can't see that against that background, but that's there to catch my glitter. I'm pretty excited about this design just because, well, I put it all together myself. And I'm still learning things about what my Cricut is capable of doing. And so I am kind of excited about that. The glitter that I'm using is from Michaels. And it's not Recollections, it's the other one that they have. But I thought this would be a nice glitter for the background to kind of look like snow. Kinda. I'm hopefully going to keep this within these papers, but y'all know me. You know me. No big secret that I am all thumbs. I'm just going to go right ahead and get this on here. I'm just going to put this on my rack and let it dry. Let it harden up for me. And then we'll come back for our next segment. I'm trying to get the sparklies on here so you can see them. They really are pretty. All right, so we're going to let this set up. When we come back, we're going to do the other parts of this that I want to get done before I put my water slides on. So stay tuned. Okay. I've got 2 coats of epoxy on my tumbler. I have sanded and cleaned down my rim to reveal a slight band of stainless steel. And as you can see, I have added something. That something is the blue flash color shift paint. Excuse me. I wanted to use this because it's more like a gel, so it's almost translucent going on, and I just want to give what is going to be our snow, which is this background. I wanted to give it a little bit of definition here and there. Not a lot, but that's what we're going to do. I've got a little bit that is out here on my lid. And I'm just going to put a tiny bit on this ratty old brush, this angled brush. And I'm going to find spots that I feel like maybe, you know, would benefit from a little bit of detail. And then I'm taking my finger and I'm pouncing it just to bring down the intensity of it. I am just going to apply this and pounce it out. Just to give our ground a little variation in our background. And it's, you know, it's not going to show up intensely. I guess that's the word I'm looking for. But we'll still see a little bit of it. And you could do this without that. Let's see. We've got a little bit of space here that's not utilized. And I'm just looking for, I'm picturing my water slide and where it's going to go and how this is going to play into that. So I didn't sand the rest of the tumbler. I had a couple little spots that that just little tiny ones that I just went over with my X-Acto knife and I just skimmed them off. Because frankly, I didn't want to have to put another coat of epoxy on this. Call it lazy, call it whatever you want to call it, but that's what I did. And normally if I was going to do something like that, I would, if I was going to sand it, I would spray it with the triple thick rather than put another coat of epoxy on here. I've learned that, the thicker they are, the heavier they are. And who needs a heavy tumbler? Not that I don't do them, but okay. Now there was a spot here where my white paint had dripped, and it really didn't cover very well with the glitter and all that. So I'm just camouflaging it a little bit. This one I'm going to clean up a little bit because I really am not digging the whole thickness of that. Let's see, I have Q-tips over here. Come here. Okay, I'm going to spray. I've got some distilled water in this bottle. I'm just going to spray a little bit of water on this. And I'm going to kind of clean it up a little bit. I just don't feel like it needs to be as pronounced as it is. And yeah, I could do it with alcohol, but the water will work too. See, and it's just coming right up there. I just didn't want it to be quite as pronounced as it is. And since this was the first one that I put on there, of course, it's dried. There we go. And maybe the top part of this. Just kind of break it up a little bit so it doesn't look like a unibrow. That's what it looked like to me. Okay, get off of there, you. All right. Now, that's as far as I'm going to go with that. I mean, I think it gives some definition. So I'm going to grab my things to do the water slide. We're going to do the water slide right over top of this because, like I said, it's dry. And I did have to scrub to get some of that paint off there, so no reason to wait. I will get my stuff together, and we'll be right back. I've cut out our water slide. And once again, I think that is beautiful. My water is warm, not hot. This is a Hiipoo Water Slide paper. And I'm going to start right here in the back. And I think that's going to get me the closest to where I want to be as far as where my marks are. So we're going to go ahead and put this baby in the bath. And of course, it always curls up. It's not an issue. Might take a little bit for this to release. Not sure. Yeah, it still needs a little bit more of a bath. Okay, I can feel that that's getting loose. And I'm going to move that aside and grab my little doohickeys here to stop me from rolling while I get started. Okay. It wants to drag a little. I can already see this is going to come out so pretty. All right, now I want to do snow, but first of all, we know that a little bit of grass will try to peek out around a fence. So where the posts are, I'm going to put just a couple of little blades of grass. There's a post there and a post here. So there's only 2 posts. So we'll get some grass on those. And I'm using olive green because, you know, the grass isn't going to be like super bright. Now this brush is just, it's got like sparse ends on it. I don't know if you can see that. There we go. And all I'm going to do is I'm going to just flick up a little bit. And flick up a little bit. Not sure if you can see that or not. The dreaded not sure if you can see it again. All right. There. And there's just, you can see just a little tiny bit of it sticking out of the snow. It's a detail. We're going to do the bottom of this post. We're going to flick. There we go. And I think that's good for that. It just, one little flick like that is plenty. Oh, maybe just a little bit more on the other side here. Oops, I don't want that on the thingy. There we go. Okay, let's see. Let's see what we get over here. Just a little. There. I am somewhat satisfied. There. And that just says we're still trying to grow here. And a little tiny bit there. All right. Now, for our snow, because we want to keep it, you know, glistening and whatnot, we're going to use Pearl White, Folk Art Metallic. I just want it to look like maybe a little bit of snow landed up there. It is kind of, well, it is somewhat translucent doing it this way, but I think it gives just enough of the idea that, you know, the snow has landed on there. And I think that's cute. You know, and it doesn't gather all in the same spot all over on a post. So we're going to give it a little here, a little there. That's all. All right, I'm satisfied with that. I'll show you the glitter that I'm talking about because I will, when I apply that, I'm going to apply it directly onto the trees when I epoxy this, and I'm going to let this sit for a little while before I go and epoxy it so that I can make sure that water slide is dried up good. So this is the glitter that I want to use on the trees. It's from the Glitter Grind, and it's called Halo. It almost has like these little tiny balls, is all I can describe it as. I tried to use it on another tumbler. I don't know if you can see. You probably can't, but there's little tiny balls that are stuck to the side here. And they show up. They don't show up as glitter that, I don't know. I can't explain it, but this is what I'm going to use. And I'm going to sprinkle it onto the greenery, the trees, and maybe some in front of the fence to make it look like it's snowing. I'm going to sprinkle that on here and see what we come up with. If this drives you crazy, look away, please, because I'm not going to change. But yeah, I think this looks pretty just the way it is, but I think we can enhance it just a little bit more. And when we come back, we will have our final reveal. So if you've hung in here this far, thank you. And I hope you like this. This tumbler to me, and I'm going to try to keep from cracking here. I lost my mom 55 years ago. I know that sounds like a long time ago, and maybe you're thinking, well, you know what, you should be over it. That's too bad, I'm not. But, you know, I know that in my heart, I know that our loved ones come back to visit us. And this reminds me of my mom. We'll be back with the final reveal.